Getting more distance is without a doubt one of the most common requests I get in golf lessons. And in today's video, I'm going to show you a great strategy to ensure that you're getting the most out of your golf swing. Let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kerrod here in the studio at Joondalup Resort, and in today's video we are talking all about getting more distance in your golf swing. I hear it all the time. People come in here and they go, I hit it straight, but I would like to get some more distance. And in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Before we get stuck in, please go down below, click subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified of all the great content like this coming forward. Also, just a reminder, I am available for online coaching, 24/7 access to myself, helping you with personally prescribed drills and exercises to assist in your current frustrations with your golf game. So if you want more information about that, you can simply just click the link in the description down below. Alrighty, in today's lesson, once again, we're talking about creating more distance in your golf shots. And a big part of that is how we move our body. Now, one of the big limitations that we see with a lot of players is that they have the perception that they need to restrict elements throughout the golf swing. So if we just look at a recent example, such as Phil Mickelson, now we really look at the way that he swings the golf club. It is very long, it is very fluid. He's got a huge turn of his body, a lot of changing of the knee flex. The club swings a long way, and therefore he's able to create a lot of speed. Yes, sometimes he might be a little bit inaccurate with the longer clubs, but relative to creating distance and speed for his age, and also through a lack of injury, with a lot of freedom throughout the body, getting that club swing in a long way, you can actually produce a lot of speed with minimal effort relative to the next golfer who is tight and he's taut and he's trying to really control things as much as he possibly can. So reducing that tension throughout the motion is an incredibly important and effective tool to getting more distance to your shots. But the big thing that we're going to talk about today is upper body rotation. So what I'm going to do here is I've got an alignment stick down on the ground, this orange color here, and that's going to represent 90 degrees of shoulder rotation. We're going to explain why that's an important thing. And then I've got this green one here, which I'm just going to lay across my shoulders. Now, just using that as a reference, ideally what we would like to see at the top of the swing would be that this green alignment stick would match that orange alignment stick. So even just practicing this at home, you can put a club across your shoulders, a club down on the ground, and just getting a feeling of what it would be like to crank up those shoulders as much as possible so we're able to match this alignment stick with the one down on the ground. You might feel something completely different with that movement. Now, what we generally tend to see with the average professional is they would achieve this 90 degrees of shoulder rotation. Now, relative to your ability and your flexibility, mobility, all of the above, personal injury history as such, you may not be able to get to this amount unless you have significantly more hip turn than the next player. Let's say you're young, you're fit, you're mobile, you've played other sports which require great mobility and flexibility. Well, you might be able to get this 90-degree shoulder turn without moving your lower body too much. But generally what we see, to create as much turn as possible, to get this 90-degree shoulder turn, which we see with all the best golfers in the world, we also need about 45 degrees of hip rotation. That just frees up that upper body to get this huge big turn all the way back and behind the golf ball. So if we look at that from down the line, we're going to use this reference down here. If this is 0 degrees set, we need our hips to turn 45. We need our shoulders to turn 90 degrees. And you can see if I restrict my hips straight away, that shoulder turn doesn't quite complete its way or its journey to that 90-degree turn that we're looking for. So having the ability to turn the hips in a circle, get the right hip for the right hander moving back, the left hip moving forward. We can see a change of knee flex, which is demonstrated by a lot of the best golfers in the world. That really just helps us achieve that big turn, that big position all the way to the top. So once you've done that, once you've got the stick across your shoulders, you've rehearsed this a few times, you're feeling quite powerful all the way to the top of the swing, then what I want you to do is grab a golf club, and you can simply just use your shoulder line as a reference. Stand there, set up with this in the center. We're going to make a big turn, feeling all the way back to 90 degrees. Now, you might feel that this is significantly more than you're used to. And I would like to see that even when you go through this process, you swing to the top, if we just get that club, place it across the shoulders, this is a great way to do it. We can see that the angle of this shaft is representative of the one on the ground. Very often, we'll see players who pull the golf club around their body. They don't really complete their shoulder turn. They tend to sway, they tend to slide. And then at the top of the swing, if they were to perform the same motion, we can see that that certainly doesn't get to that big 90-degree turn. Now, you as an individual, you might need to feel something completely different from the next person that tries this exercise. So that's why I love these dry drills, simply dry drills meaning without a golf ball, simply just putting that club across your shoulders, trying to get the feeling of cranking up that turn as much as possible. And whatever you feel that you as an individual need to get there, well, that's what I want you to actually try and implement when you're hitting the shots. So when I do this, for me to get this big 90-degree shoulder turn, well, I can't do that by restricting my body at all. I'm feeling that my right hip is moving back and behind me, and I'm feeling like a nice big stretch of my upper spine. Now, as soon as you resist that lower body, that's just going to place a lot of torque and tension, well, it certainly does for me, on my lower spine, and that can certainly lead to injuries. So allowing this big freedom of movement to the top is a great way of getting more power and distance in your golf swing. Simply put, the longer that this club head travels, meaning that the more we turn, the further it can go behind us, the greater ability we have to create speed in the downswing. If I restrict anything, let's say I sway off the golf ball, I don't turn my shoulders as much, my arms are going to break down, you can see that this club head, not only is it not traveled as far as when I would turn all the way back to 90 degrees, but the arc is quite narrow. So with a narrow, short arc, you're certainly not going to be able to create as much speed, and you're definitely going to be more inaccurate. So once you've done that, simply just step up next to a golf ball, make some rehearsal swings. I'm going to set up here, and I'm feeling that big chest turn, 90 degrees, club across the shoulders. That feels great. Let's do a couple of swings of that in that position. Perfect. Swing through. Now, it might also feel very different on the way through. Now, relative to your age and flexibility, you might need to lift your left heel up for the right-hander. So what that means is you might be cranking your hip turn, you might be cranking your shoulder turn, you still can't get to that 90 degrees. What I would then recommend, especially for a lot of senior golfers out there, is lifting the left heel up. If you look at someone like Nicholas now, even he still does it to this day because that allows him to get more turn and that allows him to get more distance. So we're going to step up there. I'm going to feel nice big turn to the top. I'm quite happy with that sort of degree of shoulder turn there. And then when I step up, I've just got an 8-iron here. I'm going to do this nice and slow to start off with. So big turn to the top, turn, and then follow through from there. And even just doing that, I can feel a slight difference from what I would do in my normal golf swing, meaning that generally for me and a lot of players who tend to get quick if they're under pressure, they don't complete their backswing. You hear it all the time. So this is a very important aspect to completing your swing and getting more distance from your golf shots. So in summary, what I want you to do, let's start off with some dry drills, put the stick across your shoulders. Let's try and get that nice big 90-degree shoulder turn that we were just discussing. After you've done that, take that down to the range or at home and make some swings just trying to complete and feel that exact same motion as you do so. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, as always, please ask me below. Please subscribe, please like, please share with your friends. A heap of great content coming your way. But until next time, I'm Kerrod. Thanks for watching.